of the tape. The unbeaten Omar Douglas taking on Alexei Collado. As you take a look, pretty much even. Collado has the height advantage, but it's Douglas with the reach advantage. Let's see if that plays a part here in this fight. Both fighters are in the ring. We get the official introduction from the one and only Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Sands Casino here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Live on FS1, this is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 10 rounds in the super featherweight division. The three judges ringside are Bernard Bruni, John Potteray, and Steve Weisfeld. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds, Sean Clark. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red with the black trim. His professional record, 19 wins, 17 of those coming by way of knockout against one loss. Fighting out of Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alexei Collado. And across the ring out of the blue corner, his opponent wearing the blue and the white along with the lime green. As a professional, perfect 16 bouts, 16 victories, including 11 of those by way of KO. Fighting out of Wilmington, Delaware. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Omar Super O Douglas.
All right, fellas, y'all had your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up, fellas.
Well, Alexei Collado has a new trainer, and he says a new focus on boxing. He says Omar Douglas better be prepared to fight tonight.
One thing I noticed about Collado, Brian, is that he's a really fast starter. I expect him to try to take it to Omar early. I was studying tape of him and Rod Salka, and he tried to bully Salka, but Salka was able to weather the storm and kind of control him. Let's see if Omar could do the same.
Douglas comes out. He's got the blue trunks, blue, red, lime green. Collado, red trunks, the black trim. This is round one. It is scheduled for 10.
Omar's the shorter fighter, but he has a considerable edge in reach. He should be able to out-jab him.
I also think Omar is the stronger fighter. He's used to fighting bigger guys.
One of the things that Douglas told us, he's going to try to pressure Collado with the jab, and you've seen him use it here early on. And to really attack Collado's body. He feels like Collado, he says, doesn't take body shots very well.
Omar has a devastating left hook to the body. I've seen him fight in the amateurs many times. He has a lot of stoppages.
It seems to me Omar is the stronger guy right now. He's walking forward. He's going to the body.
There's the body shot by Collado, and then Douglas, a stiff jab to the midsection of Collado. And here's that left hook.
Salka was able to drop Collado with a left hook. Omar is actually a converted southpaw, Brian. I don't know if you guys know that, but he's actually a converted southpaw, so his left hand is going to be very heavy.
Salka, that was the only loss for Collado in his career thus far. It happened 2 years ago.
Omar seems to be taking control of this round. He's winning. He's using the jab. He's coming forward, and he's putting a good amount of body shots in.
That's a good jab by Collado.
Yeah, Douglas is from Wilmington, Delaware, which is about 90 miles from here. There's a body shot by Collado. We're under a minute here in round one.
I still think this round is actually up for grabs.
Good right hand.
There's a combination by Douglas, the jab and then the left hook.
I think Omar Douglas is too strong for Collado so far, and it's showing. He's starting to impose his will on him early in the fight. It's too early for Omar Douglas to be walking him down like this.
I think you might be right, Joe.
Final 10 seconds of round one. We're scheduled for 10. Action-packed round there. Body shot, and you can see Collado said it was a little low. And the first round is in the books. Welcome back. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday here on FS1. Doug Pettiford, he's the trainer of Omar Douglas. Douglas unbeaten. Taking on Alexei Collado.
I love the instructions that Omar Douglas's head coach gave him. He told him to stick to the jab and keep going to the body. And I think they were great instructions, because that's the same thing I was thinking.
Collado's an interesting young man. He's from Cuba. He's been living in Miami, but he escaped Cuba in 2008 to Ireland. He was in Ireland for 4 years and then came to the United States in 2012.
One thing you guys should notice, Omar is throwing a right uppercut, and he's kind of throwing it away. Collado is raising his hands up. Look for Omar to come around his elbow with a left hook to the liver. He's like throwing the uppercut away when he gets in close. He's not trying to land, he's trying to more distract Collado to land a left hook to the body.
I think if Collado wants to have a chance, he has to stand his ground and fight Omar Douglas off him, because if not, Omar Douglas is just going to run him out the ring.
Well, you know, Collado said, they nicknamed him in the gym the Cuban Mexican. He says, I just love to fight. And once I get hit, I just sit in the pocket and fight. Douglas gets him against the ring. Collado grabs him.
That might be a little bit of frustration on Collado's end, because things are not going as well as he would want him to at the moment.
Omar has a hard hammer-like jab. Like I said before, he's the shorter fighter, but he's the longer fighter. I think he's going to out-jab Collado.
You know, one thing I think we have to watch too is the temperament of Collado. You know, this is his second fight with his new trainer. And he said, remember, he told us in the fighter meeting, one thing his trainer's been trying to tell him is win fights with your mind in the ring, because he gets too hot-headed when he fights. Be more methodical. Let's see if he loses his cool here. Douglas is certainly trying to keep the pressure on him. Double jab by Douglas.
Good double jab.
I tell you what, Brian, having a hot head in boxing is a character flaw. You should always remain even with your emotions in the fight, so the judges won't know if things are not going your way. You should never change your expression. That jab is like a truck. He's backing his kid up with a jab constantly. I would like to see Omar use his right hand a little bit more, though, Joe. What you think?
I think he's doing a good job with jabbing. I just want to see him double up on his jab and then throw a right hand, maybe, or maybe a straight right hand to the body.
Here's another left hook to the body by Douglas.
I think those body shots are starting to bother Collado. Every time he goes to the body, he pulls his cup down. It's starting to bother him.
Final seconds here, round two. You know what they say in boxing, if you can't beat them, grab them and tackle them. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday here on FS1.
Combination doesn't need the jab looks beautiful. All right? So give me the jab and come to the body. All right? Look good, champ.
Breathe. Breathe. Let's keep that rhythm. Now we walk.
Welcome back. Let's take a look and listen into Omar Douglas's corner, sponsored by Applebee's.
Use the jab downstairs. All right.
Last time we saw Omar Douglas was right here in this venue. That was December 29th. Took on Frank D'Alba, got a majority decision. It was a back and forth fight, and you know, many felt that fight was close. He was headlining for the first time, and you know, Douglas told us his game plan was to take D'Alba out, but the fight was a lot tougher than he anticipated. And he said the lesson he learned from here is don't anticipate taking somebody out. If the knockout comes, it comes. Collado now stepping up the pressure with combination.
Collado just landed a few good shots on Omar. He's having the best round of the fight so far. Omar has to take the play away from him. Collado's coming out this round. He doesn't want to lose 3 rounds in a row. He has a lot of fire in his eyes.
I see Collado. He's slipping on the inside of Omar Douglas's jab, and he's ripping a nasty left hook.
Stiff jabs to the stomach there by Douglas.
One thing I like about this fight, hasn't been a lot of excessive clinching. These guys are fighting.
Keep in mind, in that one loss Collado had to Rod Sulka a couple of years ago, it was a left hook that downed him, but it was the body shots that did him in.
Collado just did what I call a wind sprint, where you just sprint really, really hard. Now you have to kind of get your breath back. Now Omar should take advantage of this because he has to get the oxygen back in his muscles after just fighting really hard like that for a good 30-second sprint.
Halfway through round 3.
One thing I think Omar is doing, he got away from the body shots a little bit. I think he should keep attacking the body because I think it was wearing down Collado, so he should keep going to the body.
I agree. I think Collado's winning this round.
Good give and take here in round 3.
And also, he stopped using his jab. He's kind of getting lulled into a brawl a little bit. I think he should keep using his jab, listen to his coach, and go to the body.
Uppercut by Douglas, combination by Collado.
This is a close round.
Another uppercut by Collado.
This Collado's best
Right
round of the
hand
fight.
Collado. Under a minute here in round 3.
But you know what? Omar's carrying him really fast. He's making Collado work really, really hard. Let's see if Collado could come out for the 4th round with the same intensity and the same work rate.
Body shot, right hand by Douglas. Douglas says he fancies himself as a old school Marvin Hagler. Loves going into fighters' backyard. Just fight.
He's built like Marvin Hagler. Super featherweight, kind of short with really long, powerful arms. Another good body.
Another left to the
left
body.
Hook to the body. That hurt Collado. That was a good shot.
Good action here in round 3. Welcome back. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday. We're in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Take a look who's ringside. The former heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes. He's from Easton, Pennsylvania, about 20 minutes away from Bethlehem here. This is round 4.
I think Omar carried him really fast that last round because that guy knew he had to win that round because he didn't want to go down 3-zip. So now I think he's like catching his second breath, and I don't know how he's going to react. I think he's slowing down, especially from the body shots.
Alexei Collado took a deep breath in his corner, Steven.
Yes, I noticed
in between
that.
rounds.
I noticed that. I don't know how many punches he threw that last round, but I'm sure it was more than he threw in the first 2 rounds. People don't realize that the liver is located on the right side of the body. That's why guys constantly dig that left hook to the body constantly. It can really, really debilitate you if it lands in the sweet spot.
Of course, we love interacting with you, the fans. We want you to help us score tonight's fight. Let's take a look at tonight's mobile strike scorecard. And how about this? You got Douglas up 1 round. You gave the last round to Collado. First 2 to Douglas. Here's Sean Clark telling both guys to keep the body shots up.
Collado is doing something really clever. I think Omar needs to double his jab up because every time he throws a single jab, Collado slips in between and throws a counter. I think he needs to double his jab up.
You're right, and Omar's also jabbing, throwing the same jab every time. He needs to switch the tempo of the jab up.
Because it's easy to time.
Varying the speed.
You got it, Brian. Julian's a master at varying the speed of his jab.
Minute 15 here in round 4.
Omar also needs to work his right hand. He overly relies on his left hand constantly. He doesn't shoot his right hand enough. He needs to develop a better right hand.
And if you remember in the fighter meeting, he said that's what he's been working on. And Doug, his trainer said that's what I want him to throw, that right hand.
round is still up for grabs.
I actually think Omar Douglas is getting away from going to the body. If he could just double his jab up, double and triple his jab, and go to the body, I think he can make this a lot easier.
There was a left to the body. And good counter by Collado.
He just hit Collado on the top of the head. That's not a good place to hit a guy, man.
Knock your equilibrium off.
Yep, but you can also hurt your knuckle hitting the guy on the top of the head. Good left hook. This was a close round.
Final seconds here of round 4. Double jab by Douglas at the bell. Welcome back. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday. That's Alexei Collado. You know, that 4th round, the referee Sean Clark had to give both men a warning about some low blows. Let's take a look at some of the action here, Steven.
Whoa. That was an extremely low blow right there.
And Douglas returned the favor.
Hey, an eye for an eye in boxing.
This is round 5, scheduled for 10.
I think this could really be a swing round in the fight right here because the last 2 rounds was close, and I gave the first 2 to Omar Douglas. Somebody needs to separate themselves and show who's going to, take control of it going down the stretch of this fight.
I agree with you 100%, George. In swing rounds, you can't complain if you don't get them because they're so close they can go to either guy.
Omar Douglas has gone 10 rounds in his last 2 fights after really stopping 11 of his first 14 opponents.
Sometimes that happens, with the prospects early in their career because they start to move up in competition and they're fighting guys that's better talented and they're fighting journeymen that have been in there with a bunch of other talented fighters, so they know how to survive and know how to get through rounds. So sometimes a fighter might start out real hot and he might cool off until he learns how to go rounds and get knockouts. So I don't think there's nothing to be alarmed about.
I agree with you. Sometimes KO percentages, they're a little, that's an overrated statistic in boxing because it's only relative to who you can fight. Unless you're KO on the top guys, it really doesn't matter. Anybody can build up a record and get a bunch of easy KOs.
Combination there by Collado.
Omar seems to be having a pretty good round right now.
There's a left hook by Collado as well.
Omar just landed a short left hook on the inside.
We are halfway through round 5.
I just noticed something that Collado's doing that you just talked about, Julian. He's slipping Omar's jab to the inside, but Omar doesn't have a great right hand, so he can't hit him with a 1-2 down the middle because he's slipping right to his right-hand side. But Omar doesn't shoot a 1-2, so Collado's getting away with it.
I see the same thing.
There's a good combination. Ended it with a right hand by Douglas.
Yep.
Another thing Douglas do, whenever he lands the punch, he poses right in front of Collado, and he's get the throw punches back in the land. It's like you giving and taking, and that's why that fight is so close. I think Omar needs to get his punches off and get out the way.
Under a minute here in round 5. This has really been back and forth. Both guys doing a lot of body work.
It's a good fight, Brian. Real good.
Here's that left again to the body, and Collado returns.
Collado's a game guy.
Definitely came to win.
He is not the average Cuban boxer that you see. He's on the amateur teams with Irizlandi Lara, Guillermo Rigondeaux, but he said my difference to me is I love to mix it up.
He's showing it here. Omar's a really strong guy, and he's not boxing slick and moving all around the ring. He's staying right in the pocket and fighting.
Take this. All right, I don't want this punk getting no confidence whatsoever.
Let's get to know a little bit about Omar Douglas. His nickname, the Super O. Said his favorite athlete is Kobe Bryant. And listen, he says when he's not in the side the square circle fighting, he loves playing games, arcade games, and of course watching movies. That's his trainer, Doug Pettiford. and his brother.
Run my combinations now. When we run the combinations,
Who works
stuff
his
him down
corner.
here, he's out of here. Understand? Come on.
Alexei Collado. It's just his second fight with his trainer, Maury Ramos. He used to train with John David Jackson. But after his loss to Salka, that relationship ended.
Omar just switched southpaw, Brian.
Yeah, he did.
So he's
Taxing with that left hand.
Naturally left-handed.
I don't know if that's a good thing though, because if something isn't broke, then you shouldn't fix it. Him switching southpaw just might thinks that he's not doing as well as he should be doing, so he's trying to make an adjustment himself. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
You might be right, but he landed a couple good straight left hands when he did it.
There's another left to the body. You can see Collado. Look
has
at
to
Sean
stop
Clark. Hey, look.
complaining
Yeah, he
and
said this
fight.
one's low.
It's a fight. You can't keep complaining, because what happens is you distract yourself and then your opponent can come and hit you. He got to stop looking at the referee and stop complaining and go ahead and fight through it.
Good body shot.
Douglas now. There's another one. Collado keeps playing.
I actually think Collado's looking for a way out the fight.
I don't think he's looking to wait for out the fight, Joe. I think those body shots hurt, and he's trying to sneak a rest in because he's fighting.
Another body
devastating
shot
to the body.
by
He's hitting
Douglas.
right in his liver. See, now the complaining and got him a rest.
Good
Double
jab,
jab
Omar
there
Douglas.
by Douglas.
Let's see, Omar has to go back down there, even if the guy's elbow is dropped down there. He needs to go, because the area is tender. Even if he got a punch through his arm, he should keep going right down to the same area.
Left hook by Douglas.
He's breaking him down now, it looks like. Look for Collado to try to hit Omar low or complain to the referee again to buy himself some more time.
It's funny, after those body shots landed, Collado's punches has no steam on them. That's what those body shots. See how his jab is so lazy?
Yep.
Has no steam.
Douglas, big left hook, right hand.
He's about to take a knee.
Under a minute here in round 6.
Omar can't smother his work right now because he has a man that's trying to hold. He has to jab his way in to make sure he has enough distance to punch.
He definitely can't
See,
abandon
he
his
just went
jab.
low. Collado just went low. See, Collado don't care because that gives him a rest.
Sean Clark admonishing both fighters. 20 seconds now left in this round.
Joe, I remember a couple of times in the gym, kids would hit you low and you wouldn't even complain. You would go right through it because you knew they were trying to get a rest. Omar has to act the same way here in the fight. If it's not up under the cup, he got to fight right through it.
No doubt, because listen, low blows are a part of boxing. You can't let it break your distraction in the fight. So sometimes if there's not, every low blow don't hurt, so you don't have to stop every time you get hit low below the belt.
Another action-packed round.
That was a big round for Douglas.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that last round here, Julian. And big round for Douglas, especially shots to the body.
That was a brutal body shot.
And all these shots are right above the belt line.
Yes.
Left hook, right hand by Douglas.
Right there. All right. Come on.
This is round 7. We're scheduled for 10. Omar Douglas has 11 knockouts. All of them have come before the 4th round.
See, Omar needs to get back out there and get right back to attacking his body. Establish your jab and attack the body.
He threw a lot of punches that round, Joel. I think he's trying to get a little bit of a rest, and then he's going to go back to work in the midway part of the round.
Here's a combination. Right hand by Douglas.
Yeah, good shot.
Another right hand by
Collada
Douglas.
breaking down. His body language is changing. His head is snapping back. He doesn't have the same punch resistance that he had earlier. He's really breaking down in this part of the fight. If Omar has improved from his last couple of fights, he should be able to stop Collado within the next round or two. He just has to put the right sequence of punches together.
Inside 2 minutes here. We're in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Brian Custer alongside Julian Williams and Breadman Stephen Edwards.
But what Omar can't do, Omar can't get lackadaisical and get away from the game plan. And right now the game plan should be stay on the jab and stay to the body.
He's really out jabbing the taller man. There's a myth that people think that the shorter man can't out jab the taller man, but that's not true.
Here's a combination by Collado.
Good combination. Collado's still fighting a little bit.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's a game guy. You know, you got to give him credit. You know, he didn't come to lay down.
Left hook there by Douglas.
Let me tell you something. Collado is losing, but his spirit isn't broken yet. Omar has to break his spirit, or less this guy's gonna go the distance.
I think in order to break his spirit, he got to stop giving so much back. Every time he lands a good shot, Collado comes right back and hits something. His arm, his head, something. He not give him anything back.
And you know what that does? That gives Collado hope.
Yes.
That gives him hope to keep fighting on. I can remember when Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti had been beat worse in his career.
That left hand hurt Collado. He took a step backwards, and he goes down.
His nose looks broke. His blood.
And that's it. This fight's over. Omar Douglas has stopped Alexei Collado. Super O, body shots and combinations, gets the stoppage. You're watching Toe to Toe Tuesday here on FS1. Welcome back, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, watching Toe to Toe Tuesday here on FS1. Omar Super O Douglas gets the stoppage of Alexei Collado. J-Rock, let's look back at this fight.
Well, I think early on, Omar Douglas, it was a pretty tight fight early on. You know, I think Omar Douglas just started to impose his will. He's extremely strong for 130 pounds. You know, and I think he used his jab well. He broke him down to the body and eventually got him out of it like how a top prospect should.
He's got a little chippy in the mid part of the fight.
Oh, Collado's definitely, he was a game guy. You know, I think he came to win, but you know, he was just beaten by a better fighter, a much stronger fighter tonight. And my hats go off to both fighters, man. They put on a good performance.
And in round 8 is when the end came. That combination there. And then Douglas hit him with that left uppercut. Busted the nose basically of Collado.
I don't think it was so much the left uppercut. I just think it was the accumulation of beatdown that he took, accumulation of punches that he took over the course of the 8 rounds. So.
You talk about those punches. Here they are, the final punch stat brought to you by Motel 6. And you can see Douglas threw 470 punches. He landed 31% of them. Collado, 380. He landed 33% of his punches. Let's get the official time of this stoppage. Here's Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes in 2 minutes 51 seconds of the 8th round. For your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Omar Super O Douglas.
Super O can add a TKO to the record as he gets another stoppage. He's still unbeaten.